Hey guys, so um in a previous video I showed um my sharpening process with my pocket knives and my straight razor. And I did mention that I was going to show um how to strop, because I don't believe I've made a video of that, although I really can't remember even though I just looked at my channel. But I'm going to strop this and also kind of give a review on how the razor actually is. If my camera would focus right, although I don't think it will. Okay, so I was doing something a couple days ago and I had to manually change the focus for something to do it, for the camera to focus, and I just now realized that I never changed it back to autofocus. So that's probably why in the videos I recorded today were a little bit blurry, which I never mentioned anything in the videos because I didn't really notice myself until I went back and watched the videos. Whatever. um, so if you couldn't tell, I got my strap here. Um, and yes, I have it hooked onto my microphone arm. It actually works very well for what I needed to do. Um, so this is a gold dollar straight razor. And this one specifically, I probably should have already had this pulled up. I didn't think about it until just now. It doesn't say which one it is. But if you're wanting to just look at it, it is this. This is the one, 20 bucks, which actually is what I got it for. I'm surprised it's still even on sale. Um, but that is uh the the uh the razor that I got. The strop I got with my old straight razor that I threw out. Um, because I didn't like how the edge was. But I already stropped this a little bit, but I'm going to do uh just a little bit more just to kind of show you how you should do it. So there are people that say you should go in an X pattern. So let me move my camera and I can show you. All right. So I had to angle this a little bit weird for me to actually do it. But so there are a lot of people that say you should go in an X pattern. So starting from here, going up, and then flipping it on its heel and going back down the other way. So, like I said, it's hard to kind of see because my arm's in the way, but it's doing that. But I always do it like that, or like this at least, and I've never noticed any type of difference. So, like I said, I already did this, but I'm going to do it just a little bit more, just for mainly you guys to kind of see, and actually just so I can see if I can get the edge just a tiny bit straighter. Um, a lot of people say you should do about 50 passes, which means going up and down is labeled as one pass. I, depending on how much of a rush I am just to shave, will do about half that. But it really all depends. I mean, I've never seen any difference between doing 100, doing 50, or even doing like 10 or 15. It just, to me, it's pretty much just personal preference. Now, a lot of people also won't have this coloring on here. I do. It's called chromium oxide, and if you were to just use the linen side, it's not going to do much. Well, I mean, pretty much take away anything that's on the edge. But if you use something like chromium oxide, it does remove the little bit of metal um, at the edge to help sharpen it. And then the leather side helps with actually stropping and taking away the burrs and stuff. But people say to do the same thing on here with the X pattern, doing that, and then coming back and doing that. But again, I've never had any issues just by doing this. And if you wanted to, you can go ahead and check how sharp it is. I usually test on my arm for the sole purpose just to see how much tug there is when I'm cutting. And if there's not much or little to about none, then I know that I feel comfortable shaving. Also, I would recommend getting a strop that is about 3 inches wide. This is not. That's why I gotta keep doing this. If you get one it's gonna feel weird to do this with my left. But if you get one that's 3 inches wide, then all you gotta do is just go up straight and go down the straight. But if you have just a regular strop like this, you're gonna have to go to the side and down the same but opposite. Just by putting no pressure on this, it's cutting hairs very smoothly. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know when the last time I shaved was, but this is in at least a couple days to a week of hair growth. And with it being sharp and everything, and with it cutting my arm hair with like no resistance at all, I should have no problem shaving. So a rule of thumb when you are using a straight razor is to strop it before every use. This minimalizes the frequency of how often you have to actually sharpen on a stone, while also helping the blade stay straight and have a nice finished edge. Now I will say, this is more of like a majority of straight razor companies. If you have a very clear camera or some type of like microscope, always look at the edge before you use the straight razor at all, because if you get if you're able to look very close along the edge, 90% of the time you will see cracks in the edge for the metal. And if you go to shave with that, you will cut yourself. That's usually a lot of the times of companies saying shave ready. There are instances where most, or well, not most, but a good amount of the straight razors that you get should be about shave ready out of the box. But there are other cases like mine where this one was not. I've actually put this on the stone twice since I got it, and I got this in early February. Now, thankfully, this is a full hollow grind, which is good for if you do have to sharpen it on a stone a little bit more frequently than you would on something of like a half hollow grind. A full hollow grind is good because you can sharpen it a, more times. I'm not really gonna say how much because I really don't know, but you can sharpen a full hollow grind straight razor more than you can on a half hollow grind because there is more metal on a full grind or on a full hollow grind. Um, that's why a lot of times they say you don't have to sharpen a straight razor often as long as you strop it and everything, which is true. But there are certain cases to where you know it just might not do the trick just by stropping it. On my last straight razor, before I threw it away, it worked so nice out of the box. Didn't even have to strop it for the first time. And then after that, I stropped it a few times, and then I just felt how dull it was getting, and I had to sharpen it. I only sharpened that straight razor once, and I had it for 6 months. But I threw it away because of the design of the blade. I wasn't a big fan of it. And I like it had the weirdest like edges to where if you make one wrong move, or if I had one wrong move, I would get a cut. Like if I did over here, the edge would get me good on the side of my cheek, which I couldn't stand. But but that's right. So I got something different. I got something from a company I actually wanted to try for a while, which I don't know if I even said the name earlier, but it's Gold Dollar. They also have another one that is $12, and it's like a plastic um handle. This does not want to stay in for some reason. That is not good. I'm gonna have to see what I can do about that because this does not want to stay in. So a big problem that I've noticed with Gold Dollar, and I've seen other people reviewing these say the same thing. A lot of the times that you get them, the the grips are warped or not in line. That's usually due to like heat and cold and all that stuff, just weather in general having a factor on it. Um, which mine is a little messed up. I'd change it out if I can find some nice grips, but I can't find any decent ones that I care about. Um, so I'm just leaving these on. There are a few places where you could send it to have it have the grips changed and a little bit more sharpened, but that's usually personal preference. So Um, this is gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna record when I go and shave. And then I'm not going to continue this until tomorrow because it's already 1 o'clock in the morning and I want to go to bed. So I'm gonna shave and then shower and then I'll finish this in the morning. But yeah, anyway, um, enjoy the little shaving montage. All right, so I'm gonna kind of be doing a little voiceover for this part because I felt like I wanted to just talk and do whatever. So I'm just gonna kind of be explaining on what I'm doing and some other stuff. So as of right now, I'm just wetting my face with hot water so you can get the skin prepped. And I dropped something there, that's why I kind of flipped. So normally I like to use more of a thick lather, but I had too much water on my brush, so it ended up making it more, I would say, slick and more thin, which generally is okay, especially for more of straight razor shaving. Even with safety razor shaving, sometimes a thin lather is good to have. So the reason why I'm just still doing this is because it's really good to make sure that a lot of the lather is more even and no missed spots. So now I'm getting ready for the shave. And when you're shaving with a straight razor, you want to pull the skin taut, like how you can see in the little mirror over there. You want to tug up on your skin and just gentle pressure, kind of like with a safety razor if you have ever shaved with one. The worst parts is just doing your sideburns because you can't see. So I'm not very good with my left hand when it comes to shaving. So you will see me being a little bit more careful, uh, looking like maybe I'm doing a little bit of lighter pressure than on my other side. I'm right hand dominant, and sometimes with shaving and stuff, I do have issues, especially with like a straight razor. Um, Having issues with getting the right amount of pressure and everything. So generally, I'll try to be a little bit more careful with my left side than my right, because my right, I have complete control and I completely trust how I do stuff. So as of right now, I'm just trying to get the sideburns lined up on both sides. Now that they're both lined up, I'm gonna go for the neck, which is always the toughest spot for me because I still have some razor bumps from the last time I shaved with a electric razor. So sometimes it's kind of tough going over them without actually cutting them. But I actually do a pretty good job here. And I just kind of do like the little line before I do all that, just so I don't have to do it later. So as you can kind of tell, like I mentioned, I'm very comfortable with my right hand when it comes to shaving and doing whatever else I need to for shaving. It's just with my right, I have issues. That's why you see me with my right hand going as far back as I can to the other side. And now on my left side, I do place my wrist on my other hand because it's weird because I do have more control if I do it like this, just in case like I accidentally slip or something, or the razor somehow slips from my hand or something. But I'm very comfortable doing it with my arm on my hand for some reason. Now I'm just doing the line on the little parts over here. And after that, and another part here coming up sometime soon, you will see that I kind of lose my what would you call it? Lose my kind of like motivation for doing said shaving, because once I feel any type of cut or tugging, I immediately think that I'm gonna cut myself while I'm shaving. So I tend to do a little bit more carefully for the second pass. I don't always do a second pass, but I wanted to this time just so I can not have to worry about shaving again for a little bit. Generally, I will wait as long as I want. Sometimes I'll shave a couple days after I've already shaved, or a couple weeks. Sometimes it's a month, maybe a couple months. But if it gets to a certain point, like usually if it's over the 3 or 4 week period of not shaving, I will trim everything down before I do anything. But for this pass, I am a little bit more confident. That's why you see me going a little bit quicker on that side. But on the other side, which is coming up here in a second, I make a little face because I thought I cut myself, which is right over here. Right there. I thought I cut myself, but no, it didn't cut any hair. It tugged it from where my mustache is. Well, like the edge of where it was at. So I didn't actually cut anything. It just kind of like pulled the hair out. Now, that's not saying anything on the sharpness. It's just because of how much thicker my mustache is compared to how my neck and my cheeks were. As you can tell, actually, right over here, you can actually see my hand shaking a little bit more because of that little tug that I thought I cut up on my lip. And I ended up being a little bit more careful and switched to my right hand to do the little cleanup like I'm doing now, just to make it easier on myself. Because like I mentioned, with my right hand, when it comes to shaving, I am like the most confident person you will ever meet for some reason. I just have more trust with control with a blade like this in my right hand than I would on my left. That's why I prefer to do most stuff with shaving on my right. Anyway, of course, after shaving is the cleanup. So you're just going to want to do whatever your normal routine is. Most of the time, mine is taking a shower afterwards. Some people, they want to use cold water on their face and then put on some type of aftershave. Some other people would prefer to use an alum block afterwards. I generally don't like to use it unless I do get some kind of nick or a cut. And then, of course, next comes the cleaning of the brush, which the way I usually do it is I will squeeze out any of the shaving cream that's in there, and then I will rinse it off a few times while making sure that you don't damage the brush. Squeeze it out a few more times, and then I will rub it against my hands while it's running under water. And then a good way to dry off your brush is if you already have a towel hanging up on a door or something, or you just have a hand towel or whatever, is to just gently wipe the brush, kind of like how I was doing. And then I like to just squeeze out the rest of whatever and go ahead and put it away. And then, of course, I will go ahead and clean out the shaving puck that I was using, which in this, I don't think I showed it, but it is the Parasso's sensitive skin one, the white container. And then after that, it's just cleaning up whatever else you need to. All right, everybody. So that is pretty much the end of everything for the straight razor. This straight razor is actually really nice. After I finished everything, I dried off the blade. It's still having issues like it was before I started shaving with it not staying closed. I don't know why, and it's very annoying. But I ended up putting this stuff on it, which I mentioned in my sharpening video. Is it's food safe and it helps to be rust resistant, which is very nice, especially on some of these gold dollar ones because they don't have any rust protection. Especially this one in particular doesn't have any protection against rust, so it's kind of good to have something like this. And it'll be linked in the description below, but it's definitely good to have something like that on this that is going to be in some type of like humid area. In my case, mine stays in my room with everything else, and it's never really humid in here. But with me being in Florida and everything, just about everywhere is humid, especially in the summer. So it's good to have that extra protection when it comes to rust. But yeah, so if there's any other things that you guys want me to review, I have a few other type of shaving soaps. I can let you guys know how some of those are. I also have a few other types of aftershaves and all that, so I can talk about those and do whatever. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this episode. So, I mean, as you can tell, it was a good shave. All of this is from the last time I shaved with an electric razor. For some reason, it takes forever, forever for my razor bumps to go away, no matter what I do or put on them. I have used so many different things in the past to where some of these people could have me on a commercial for them. That's how much I used to use a lot of other companies' products that is supposed to help reduce razor bumps, or if you already have them wow, or if you already have them to help them go away faster. So that's why I don't shave as often as I do anymore. Uh, a lot of times, if I don't want to aggravate them, I'll just use a trimmer and just go that route. But generally, I try not to do certain things that I know is going to aggravate them, which usually is shaving with certain products and everything. But with a straight razor, I don't break out for some reason. safety razor, cartridge, electric, whatever else. I always break out with any of those. I just find it weird. But hey, whatever. I find what's right for me and then I'll just keep using it. That's why I sharpen certain things like a straight razor more often than some people should because I want to keep it sharp and I want to do it to where it doesn't tug and pull just so that I don't have this problem much anymore. Which these are actually going away. I don't know why they're showing up like they are today, but they actually are going away. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Also, hit subscribe if you are new to the channel. Go check out my other channels down below. And like I said, I have other types of shaving creams, soaps. There's times where I'll use my straight razor and Barbasol. Like if I want to be lazy. I have a few different aftershaves. I have two that are bay rum and one that is just like the Nivea like after balm lotion for sensitive skin. Other than that, I really don't have all too much, but I do have other stuff that I could review and talk about. So yeah. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed, hit the like button, comment down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all later.